r/ask men what are some things men don't tell women? Someone complimented my shirt on campus today. It was my favorite shirt before that. Now I practically consider it my only shirt. Every single sincere compliment is boosted 100x their value. Women typically compliment each other, so they are used to being told they look nice. If you don't believe me, you either don't have social media or don't talk to girls. Guys don't compliment each other, so anything we get is abnormal and taken to heart. That 6 can be really intimidating. Like, what if we underperform? Or what if you don't enjoy it? It's already hard enough to get a woman interested and sexually attracted to the point where the idea of fooling around could occur. Sure would sucks ass if you finally do it and A, you don't last long enough, or B, don't perform well enough to keep her coming back. Maybe this is more of an exclusive insecurity for myself, so I doubt all men are like this, but whatever, that's what I tend not to tell women. Man, I feel this so much. Pretty sure I've had a girl end a new relationship because she didn't feel the 6 was good enough. I had let her know that I didn't have much experience and she said that was fine, but I think she felt differently in the end. I have no interest in casual hookups, so my only experience comes from actual relationships, which in turn means experience isn't that common in dry spells. We will literally remember a genuine compliment for the rest of our lives. Jesus, if this isn't true. A random drunk former acquaintance of mine once told me, "I love your smile. You should smile more," as we were having a drunken chat. That was around a dozen years ago, and I still remember that like it was yesterday. Her face, her voice, her smile, permanently imprinted. This a million times over. I think a lot of men, myself included, have a lot of insecurities that aren't addressed. It's a universal thing, but a lot of people really don't understand that. A lot of the time, it's hard to communicate those insecurities, not unlike emotions. Masculine conditioning would lead us to suppress them, keep them to ourselves, but they still pester. It's such a negative cycle, because the more we try to ignore them, the harder it gets to communicate about them. There is some construct of what being a man should be, and a lot of us are constantly comparing who we are to what that is. It's so easy to criticize the parts of you that fall short of that idealism. I'm not a very well built guy, and I'm terrified of losing my girlfriend to someone who looks more like a man. I have a friend who refuses to leave the house without a pair of high-heeled boots because he's embarrassed of his height. There is always a better version of ourselves out there just waiting to screw our lives over and take what we have, someone better who could swipe it up with a suave smile and laugh. Which is completely irrational. I like to think the true measurement of manhood is how far we deviate from what we are expected to be, but it's so hard for guys to believe that, myself included. We're all carrying around some insecurity, some secret part of ourselves, or our bodies, that we are embarrassed of, and hiding from the world. When you fixate on that, it's impossible to see that people love you for those things. And that just doesn't extend to guys. But guys feel that way too, and it's okay to talk about and feel that way. As the resident overly ripped dude at the gym, I can tell people are intimidated by me. It sucks sometimes. Honestly, my biggest dream on earth is having some fat guy or dorky high school kid approaching me for help, taking him under my wing, and blasting him to Gaines Valhalla. Edit. Holy frick. Okay. Sometimes guys seem rude because they know niceties will seem like flirting, which takes on new meaning when instead of inviting unwanted attention, which is a letdown to be fair, the concern is being labeled a creep. Conversely, a guy will also seem insistent and weird if he thinks he's perceived as a threat and wants to put that person at ease. This is a real problem for me. When I meet a girl that I find attractive, I, for whatever reason, end up being cold and distant towards her because I don't want her to think I'm flirting because reason. But all the women that I'm not interested in, I'm nice and relaxed and act like myself. And then, to my confusion, it's only women that I'm not interested in dating that seem to be interested in me. Why am I so afraid of flirting with women that I actually want to flirt with? Sometimes we just need to sit down and be silent to sort out our own head shit. No, I'm not mad or grumpy, but if you keep asking, I probably will be. I remember 3 or 4 Askmen threads over the last couple years with guys saying they basically fake half-hour poops, take 2 minutes to actually poop, and the rest of the time to sit and think without being asked what they are thinking about. When you play hard to get, we just find it annoying. Edit. I recognize that chasing the girl is part of the fun. But there's a difference between not having interest at first and developing it over time and already be interested and just playing around for the sake of satisfying one's ego. If you are interested in the guy, just show it. By I mean reciprocate in an understandable way and don't play games. Or even simpler, say it. How soul-crushingly alone we really are when we meet you. I genuinely think it's been years since anyone aside from my parents seemed to care about me. Was literally told today we were so worried for the longest time that we were going to get a call that you had killed yourself. I genuinely thought I was fine. My mom told me one day, you know, if you were gay, I would still love you. I wasn't gay then or now, and I've now been married 8 years. I used to like telling that story with a laugh until a gay man overheard and said he would have done anything to hear his mother say that when he was young. I went home and wrote a thank you for your unconditional love letter to my mom. One thing I don't tell my girlfriend, I feel responsible for her safety and security at all times. It's a super irrational thing and I'm not sure where that comes from, but I definitely don't choose to feel that way. Why would I? It makes me paranoid and scared all the time. Sometimes she talks about whenever she's in a public situation, she has an escape plan. I don't have an escape plan. I have a save your life plan. Way too much of courting can qualify as creepy if we are not attractive to you. Would be so much easier if women made the first move. You aren't telling your female friends this when the topic comes up. I make sure to let them know what kind of views people would have of someone who is average or less. They are always surprised and a bit ashamed because they realize they have done that kind of thing in the past. At least they learned that there's blood on the toilet. I pee while sitting, but I still check the whole toilet over to determine if it needs a cleaning. There is often blood under the seat. I will never mention this, only clean. I recognize that menstruation is a different level of rough for every woman. It doesn't matter how disgusting I think blood on the toilet is, or how much I think I shouldn't be the one cleaning it up. I'm going to clean it up and shut up. Every single time. Edit. Wow, this received far more attention than I'd anticipated. I've only ever told a woman once that there was blood on the toilet, and the look of sheer horror on her face. I will never risk causing another woman to feel that way again. I understand that some women are very secure when it comes to menstruation. Still, some women aren't, and for something like this the easiest path is to just clean it up and keep it to myself. It's not as if my day has been inconvenienced. The amount of stress we might have to shoulder for the good of everyone. Don't get me wrong, I can and do talk with my wife, but even then I don't concern her with some of my thoughts. She's pregnant with our first child and basically has all the symptoms dialed up to 10, so she has other things to deal with. I got promoted, yay, but it comes with a great deal of headaches and stress, making sure all finances are covered and future planning is addressed, doctor appointments, dogs, cars, etc. I handle most of the items, so I constantly have a running list of tasks in my head and how to best navigate everything, including work takes its toll. She is very understanding and always me to decompress, which I'm very grateful for, but even with that, I still don't overload her with everything going through my head. I've learned not to stress her out with finances and retirement as she can get stressed out looking at the numbers. I'm the captain of our ship, so it's my responsibility to handle them. That just because we genuinely don't like to talk about ourselves or our emotions to you does not mean we don't trust you. I have friends and family that I would trust with my life, but I won't tell them about certain issues I'm having because bottling it up and handling it by myself or in my head is how I process it best. Also, when I let emotions out, I'm shit at reining them back in. It does not mean I'm depressed either. Well, I don't know about everyone else, but for me, it is mostly how I want physical contact. As you can already tell, all my friends get physical contact from all of my woman friends very easily. The guys don't even have to have a reason for touching them and could just do it randomly and get the twice as much from girls than the girls get from guys. I'm one of the few that gets excluded from physical contact entirely. Of course I have given them physical contact, and mostly within reason, and they seem perfectly fine talking to me and being with me alone, but other than that I get left out to a very noticeable degree. Edit. And I can't ask because I don't want to be that guy, the where's my hug guy. I hear that is considered creepy and desperate. Sometimes the penis will slip out of the center opening of the boxers. It's super uncomfortable and there's no way to fix without reaching down my pants. Also, don't piggyback on the guy's friend's jizzing. Example, one of my friend's nickname is Great Nuts due to a play on his last name. His GF called him that and I could see the cringe inside him. Hey you. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you hit subscribe to stay updated with all the upcoming videos? And remember to have a fantastic day.